I want to see, does 26-year-old me love the same books and consider the same books to be my favourites that 17-year-old me did? I have a feeling no. Hello team. We are unfortunately mic-less today. I did not know that you need to charge these little buggers, so they're currently being charged. For today's video, I would like to thank my past self for being so clever and thinking ahead of the curve to film my favourite books video.
I forgot to say what I'm actually doing. Books!
I think this was uploaded 8 years ago now. I thought it would be a very fun little challenge to challenge myself to reread my previously acclaimed favourite books. Some of these I know are not going to be my favourites. The thing about past me is that I was also very generous with what I consider to be my favourites. It is a long list. Oh my god, it's not even a top 10, it's a top 14 books. And for some of them I even put entire series, which, you know, and I'm gonna give myself some grace that past Jace did not give himself, which is I will only be reading the first book of every series, because it's my favourite books. It's a video called Favourite Books. I don't know why I listed series in my favourite books video. There are still a few on there, which I hold close to my heart. Would they be favourites? Maybe. That's why we're rereading. We're gonna find out. And for all that I've said that these are my favourite books, most of them I no longer own physical copies of. So clearly they did not stand the test of time. I have no clue where some of these physical copies went, because even now part of me is thinking I wouldn't give that away. I wouldn't leave that somewhere, so where are they? But they're not on my bookshelf, and I don't have any books anywhere else, so I guess I got rid of them. So how I'm planning to approach this for most of these books is to try and find them in the local library, or if I'm really desperate, buy them secondhand, because some of them I know I'm just not going to want to actually own. I'm probably going to make a video for each book that I read, so that is 14 videos. So the first book I said, which is not a book at all, was the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. I think that one will probably be better than the next book I said. Once again, not a book, and that is the Mortal Instruments series, also by Cassandra Clare. I, from my memory, think that the Infernal Devices was better, more mature, more developed as kind of a storyline and also character-wise. I've actually already made a start on City of Bones, which is the Mortal Instruments' first book in the series, and I am listening to it on BorrowBox. I could not find a physical copy anywhere in my library, and I was like, I'm not buying these books again. I've been through this, I've done that. And I'm not really an audiobook person, so I started listening to The City of Bones already. That will be its own video. The third book that I mentioned was Artemis Fowl by Owen Colfer. I have wanted to reread Artemis Fowl for a really long time, mainly because when I look back at it, I don't think I understood half of what was going on in that series, but I loved it. This one, no clue where my physical copy went again. The next one was Reckless by
Cornelia Funk. Never known how to pronounce her surname, and if you're awful.
Funke. Cornelia Funke.
Okay. The next one is Reckless by Cornelia Funke. It's taken almost 10 years, but I've learned how to pronounce her surname. This book, I was obsessed with. I mean, talk about my past self. If you go watch the video, I'll be obsessed with it. And for years, I have thought about getting this book and finishing the series. I didn't realise it was a series for so long. I have gone ahead and I bought a secondhand copy of this. There we go. Look, it's so different from what I'm used to. I am actually really excited to get into this one. I've thought about this book so many times. Oh, Germany's answer to J.K. Rowling. Ew. The next book I said was Half Bad by Sally Green. I had the trilogy, and I no longer have it. That one I'm also interested in rereading. I think at the time I said that I was really endeavoured with the idea of a male witch. I don't think it's that weird to see nowadays, to be honest, but yeah. I guess I'm gonna have to reread that as well. Let It Snow by John Green and Maureen Johnson and Lauren Miracle. I don't really want to reread this one. I used to be obsessed with John Green and his books. I still watch Vlogbrothers. I still, you know, I'm probably going to get John Green's book about tuberculosis. It's not an anti-John Green thing. It is more just like, This is just a YA book that I don't think is suited for me and my tastes anymore. But part of the challenge will be challenging myself and rereading this. So yeah, this is a very holiday themed seasonal book. So I think that's also why I'm a bit like, do I really want to be reading a Christmas book in spring? Every Day by David Levithan. I watched the movie adaptation of this and it made me wonder, did the book suck this bad? Again, I'm not really super stoked about rereading this one. Lord Mercy, Rebecca Lim. This is also almost very similar to Every Day. This is there's 4 books in this series, I think. I'm only going to be rereading the first one. I think Past Me also said that no one talks about these books. No one talks about these books. I have not heard a single soul talk about this book since I made that video. Maybe there's a reason. The next book is Adaptation by Melinda Lowe. I do remember this book vaguely. I remember the cover, because this cover shook me to my core. The fact that the main character was bisexual is also very cool. I'll definitely give this one a try. I found it enjoyable enough that it would be good. Why is that on the list? We'll get to that later. Okay, on to a book that I'm actually very excited to read, and that is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I've wanted to reread Rebecca for years. I just never got onto it. I think last year I read The Scapegoat by her, which I'd never actually fully read. I started reading it when I was gonna have surgery in hospital, and it was the book that I brought with me, so I got like 50 pages in, and then I just felt really nervous and then just never picked up the book again, even though I found it fun. I think Rebecca will stand the test of time. Of course, it's bloody Rebecca and it's Daphne du Maurier. I meant to mention that Daphne du Maurier is probably one of my favourite authors as well, if we're talking about like gothic, modern gothics. Rebecca's a little chunky, huh? Honest to God, so generous with naming my favourites. Like, this is my favourite ever, and it's like fucking half of them I threw out the door. Clearly they're not your favourites if you get rid of your copies afterwards. Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. This was another series. I did see the movie in the cinema. It was just not good. I remember feeling very fond of this book, and I have talked to a few people about it as an adult who said that they really liked it too. So I have high hopes that this one actually will be good. Next up is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, which I'm actually going to remove from this challenge because I reread this book last year. I've already done it. Considering I reread it last year, it is probably too soon to reread and do a review of. Overall, I did not love it as much as I used to love it. I understand why I loved it though. I think Erin Morgenstern does magical realism well and does romance well. If anything, a bit more convoluted the second time round reading it, but I understand why I was so taken with it in the past. The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I just think I've aged out of this book, have not touched it since I first read it. But again, I think this is where Past Me was just too generous. And last, but certainly not least, is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I was trying to figure out if I've read this book since I filmed that video. Definitely not in the past 5 years. This is the original copy that I had. I kept this copy. I feel like it's just such a cornerstone of being young and gay. I actually met Madeline Miller in person. I watched her talk, I think when Circe came out. I got it signed, and I talked a bit about writing and how this book got me into university to do creative writing. I don't think I'm going to dislike this book when rereading it. I'm excited to reread it. I kept 2 of my apparently 14 favourite books when I was 17. Anyway, I hope this was somewhat entertaining. I will see you in the next video where I remember to charge my fucking microphone. See you later.